Well, it's time for us to get to the other starter Pokemon in the Johto region, and one that I absolutely love, despite the fact that it isn't great, Meganium. This is going to wrap up the alternate starter best teams for now, and while it's a Pokemon I really like, using Meganium made it a bit hard to put this team together. As I have brought up several times in the past, Heartgold/Soulsilver is right up there with some of the hardest games to make best teams for. And that trend for sure continued today as I tried to put together a team made up of Pokemon I hadn't used in the Feraligatr or regular best teams for these games. Hopefully you guys enjoy my attempt at putting together something that will get you through the whole game. A best team is a team of 6 Pokemon that is designed for the absolute best performance for its said Pokemon game. The team usually revolves around a best starter, but since we're using alternate starters, this team will revolve around one of them instead. With this team focusing on Meganium, of course. Each team member is designed to do well against all the gym leaders, Elite Four members, champion, rival, and the evil team leaders. When it comes to making their movesets, we will be including TM moves, however, we do not allow egg moves nor post-game tutor moves. So with all that out of the way, let's finally get into this Heartgold and Soulsilver alternate starter best team. Well, let's just get it right out of the way and talk about Meganium right off the bat. It is, of course, your starter Pokemon for this one. And yeah, it isn't very good. Meganium created such a challenge to actually make a good team for, as it suffers so much from the difficulty of Heartgold and Soulsilver in regards to getting actual moves to use. It has a horrible move pool, and it doesn't get many useful TMs to use at all. It's actually a little oxymoronic to use Meganium on a best team of any kind, since it truly doesn't belong on one. And yet, here we are. Meganium is definitely more of a defensive Pokemon, with 100 base in both defenses. That doesn't really translate well to in-game success, as one would expect back in the 4th generation. But hey, you do what you gotta do. Don't expect a lot out of Meganium here. It's definitely the supporting cast that will get you through this long 2-region challenge. Alright, so the moves I worked incredibly hard to put together here for Meganium is Petal Dance, Strength, Swords Dance, and Iron Tail. Petal Dance is hands down the best grass-type move that Meganium gets, and it's also the only special move on this set. I would have liked to have kept it all physical, but go figure that back in the 4th generation, Meganium just didn't get any physical grass-type moves that were any good. It's learned at level 32, so right upon evolving into it from Bayleaf. Strength I put on here so we could get some usage out of it as an HM. And since it does have a decent 80 base power, I think it'll be nice to have. Though, if you'd like, you can use Body Slam instead, which is learned at level 46. Strength is gotten from clearing the Sudowoodo out of the way on the road to facing Morty. Next, we have Swords Dance, which can be set up to help Meganium a bit more useful, and it can be gotten as a TM for 4,000 coins at the Goldenrod Game Corner. Finally, we have Iron Tail, and I decided on this for the sake of Ice-type coverage. It's the TM you get from beating Jasmine, so expect it right before you take on Price, of course. Now, with this unfortunately limited moveset, Meganium will be able to do well against Chuck's Poliwrath, Price's entire team, Brock's entire team, Misty's entire team, Blue's Rydon, Silver's Sneasel, Will's Slowbro and Jinx, Bruno's Onix, Lance's Aerodactyl, and finally Red's Lapras and Blastoise. As you can see, Meganium is borderline useless, but what can you expect with the sort of move pool this thing has? Seriously, just look. There is little to nothing good in this pool, and it's honestly really sad. There's a ton of wasted potential with Meganium, and it sucks. So, I mentioned earlier, I wanted to use some different Pokemon, but I decided on just using Firo here because I didn't want to use Pidgeot. Firo is just better. Plus, something unique to the Johto games is you get a free Spearow being Kenya. Kenya can be obtained from the gate north of Goldenrod City. You literally steal this poor man's Pokemon, but it also means it's not yours. So essentially, faster experience and level ups. Remember, Pokemon that have a different trainer ID than yours level up faster. Spearow evolves into Firo at level 20, and just like that, you have a Pokemon that has base 100 speed and base 90 physical attack. Firo is actually quite fast and will be a great aid to your team. Now earlier I did mention you don't get the real Spearow till Goldenrod. However, you can get an earlier one on Route 46 by New Barktown, and then you can have that for Sprout Tower and Bugsy's gym. So until you get to Kenya, use the fake Spearow. Trust me. Just use Kenya. There's faster levels and it'll already be level 20 when you get it. Anyways, I can safely say Firo is the best flyer in this game with Crobat next to it. Alright, we've got Fly, Aerial Ace, Return, and U-Turn on this set for Firo. As you can see right off the bat, we've got Fly, which is a big part of why Firo is here to begin with. You get the HM for Fly in Wood City, so it'll be right there to pack an extra punch against Chuck. Well, that's what I like to say, but you actually get it from his wife after defeating him. So instead, you'll have to use Aerial Ace in that battle. Aerial Ace on Firo is actually super convenient because Spiro gets it at level 17, which is very good. Next up, we have Return, a fine stab move that Firo is bound to get a lot out of, considering it'd be a Pokemon you're using right from the start of your adventure. Mostly. You'll get the TM for Return at the Goldenrod department store from an NPC on a Sunday. Finally, we have U-Turn, a nice get-out-of-battle quick option for Firo, learned via the TM you get for defeating Bugsy. Alright, so with these moves, Firo will be able to do well against Bugsy's entire team, Chuck's entire team, Misty's Starmie, Erica's entire team, Janine's duo of Ariados and Venomoth, Sabrina's entire team, Blue's Executor and Machamp, Silver's Sneasel and Kadabra, Will's Slowbro, Jinx, and Executor, Koga's Ariados and Venomoth, Bruno's entire team except for Onix, Karen's Umbreon and Vileplume, and finally, Red's Venusaur. Firo puts in a lot more work than Meganium, and it shows for sure. Though I definitely feel we still need to surround these two Pokemon with some good ones to help build things up even more so we can truly get a squad that can be recognized as a best team. Coming up third is a Psychic Pokemon that I've never used in the past. It's not really the best Psychic type in Johto, but I like it a lot due to the fact it gets a very early Psybeam at level 19 and Psychic at level 37. Oh, and did I also mention that this Pokemon is a secret weapon from Morty? How? Well, it's normal and Psychic type. That's right, the long neck Pokemon, Girafarig. Girafarig can be obtained on Route 43, right below the Lake of Rage. You don't have to surf either. You can literally go right through Mount Mortar, right when you get to Ecruteak City. Girafarig actually has decent stats, being a base 85 speed and 90 special attack. The physical attack, well, we don't talk about that. That speed and special attack don't really mimic Espeon's, but that normal typing really is a secret weapon against Morty, and its early access to Psychic Stabs really helps make its case strong. Morty shuts down almost any team due to Gengar's insane speed and Stab Shadow Ball. With Girafarig though, it's a straight immunity. The only attacks Gengar can use on you are Dream Eater and Hypnosis. Whoa, hold on there, Mystic. What about Sucker Punch? 65 base attack. Good luck. Anyways, let's hop into this long neck's moveset. The unfortunate part about Girafarig is it doesn't have any special normal attacks to use. Well, it does, but it's an egg move being Razor Wind. So with that in mind, I decided to focus on Psychic Stab and coverage. We have Psybeam / Psychic, Shadow Ball, Charge Beam, and Thunder. Psybeam can be learned at level 19, and that's the perfect weapon for taking on Morty. If you like Psybeam, you can choose to leave it on there for extra power points. However, if you want power and limited PP, Psychic can be learned at level 37. Next up, we have Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball can be obtained after you defeat Morty. Following those two moves, we have the two electric moves being Charge Beam and Thunder. Charge Beam is here because there's a chance Girafarig's special attack can go up a stage. I would have ran Calm Mind, but unfortunately, you don't get that TM until the Battle Frontier. Lastly, we have Thunder. You can get Thunder from the Goldenrod department store for 5,500 Poké-Dollars. Mystic Thunderbolt! No, Game Corner is too much trouble, and I don't want you guys to go through that hell again. But if you must, you can get it from the Game Corner after hours of Voltorb Flip. But yeah, those last two moves are just here for coverage, and are quite frankly the best coverage moves Girafarig can get outside of Shadow Ball. The rest of its coverage is post-game and a complete waste. With these moves, Girafarig can destroy Morty of Psybeam, Chuck's team, Price's Seal and Dugong, Claire's Gyarados, Proton's team, Petrel's team, Ariana's Arbok and Vileplume, Archer's Coughing, Will's entire team of Shadow Ball, Koga's team aside from Fortress, Bruno's team aside from Onix, Karen's Vileplume and Gengar, Lance's flying types that aren't dragon, Brock's Amistar, Misty's team, Erica's Victory Bell, Janine's team, Sabrina's team of Shadow Ball, Blue's Executor, Pidgeot, and Machamp, Silver's Golbat, Kadabra, and Gengar, and finally, Red's Venusaur. Girafarig is quite underrated, and I am happy it got to see such fun today. Going from one new member to the other, I decided a great Pokemon to pull, despite the poor speed, would be Rydon. The way we do best teams is in a way where we don't use trait evolutions, which means I couldn't pick Rhyperior to put on this team. However, I feel that Rydon truly is very good on its own anyway, so I decided on using it here. It's actually a shame there's no Eviolite in 4th gen, because I'd have definitely thrown it on here. You're gonna grab a Rhyhorn from the Safari Zone in the Savannah area, so you'll have it join your team after defeating Jasmine. You will have Rydon at level 42, and thus have access to a 130 base attack, 120 base defense Pokemon that will take hits and dish them out tenfold. It's well worth having a non-fully evolved Pokemon here on the team, and I'll prove it by showing how good it can be with the following moveset. That impressive moveset is Earthquake, Stone Edge, Shadow Claw, and Mega Horn. So yeah, like I said, Rydon is damn good. Earthquake is learned to level 49, so you want to use Dig until then, and that TM can be found in the National Park. Then we've got Stone Edge on Rydon for another wonderful bit of stab, and that is learned at level 45. I'd say to just use Rock Blast until then, and that is a move learned at level 25. So with those stab moves out of the way, we move on to some coverage with Shadow Claw. You can find the TM for it before you even face up with Morty on Route 42. Then, we finally have Mega Horn, which is learned at level 57, so don't expect to be using that until Kanto. I'd suggest perhaps using Hammer Arm until then, for a little bit of extra fighting type coverage. Now with these moves, Rydon will be able to do well against Price's Dugong and Piloswine, Brock's entire team, Misty's Starmie and Lapras, Lieutenant Surge's entire team, Erika's Tangela and Blossom, Janine's entire team except for Weezing, Sabrina's entire team, Blaine's entire team, Blue's entire team except for Machamp, Outra's Houndour and Houndoom, Silver's entire team, Will's entire team, Koga's entire team except for Fortress, Bruno's Onix, Karen's Murkrow, Gengar, and Houndoom, Lance's entire team, and Red's Pikachu, Lapras, and Charizard. Wow. Do you see what a Rock-type move will do to Lance's team? There is just a straight dominance from Rydon from the Elite Four on, and that's just pretty freaking special. And the penultimate member of our team, yet again, is Lapras. This right here is the Pokemon that is better than Feraligatr. And as always, here's why. Better move pull, Ice Beam at level 32, Surf. Lapras has special attacks that go well with its high special attack stat. Now, where you get Lapras is the same as usual. We go to the deepest and southernmost part of Union Cave on a Friday night to get it. Now, you'll need to get Surf to get it, so we'll have to get a temporary Surfer. Just use a Sentret or something. Surf is given to you by an old man at the Ecruteak Dance Theater, after you defeat a Rocket Grunt. Surf will be usable after you defeat Morty, which actually works out very, very well. Lapras will be caught at level 20, and can then immediately be taught Surf to your primary Surfer. Lapras is a long-time veteran of the best team for Kanto and Johto series, and I'm super happy that I got to use it again like always. So for its moveset, we've got Surf, Perish Song, Ice Beam, and Thunder. Surf, as I just said, is received from an old man in the Ecruteak City Dance Theater. Perish Song and Ice Beam are both level up moves, learned at level 27 and level 32. Perish Song is there simply as an all-out move. And of course, you can switch out your Lapras to save it. Finally, Thunder's TM can be bought at the Go-Around department store, like I mentioned earlier. What's great about Lapras is the Ice Beam at level 32. You completely decimate anything that gets in your way that is weak to ice-type attacks. Having Surf so early too is also a really, really great powerhouse. With these moves, Lapras can do well against Chuck's Poliwrath, Jasmine's Steelix, Price's team, Claire's team aside from Kendra, Proton's Golbat, Ariana's Vileplume and Murkrow, Archer's Houndour and Houndoom, Will's Xatu, Slowbro, and Exeggutor, Koga's Crobat, Bruno's Onix, Karen's Vileplume, Murkrow, and Houndoom, Lance's entire team, Brock's entire team, Misty's team aside from Quagsire, Janine's Crobat, Blaine's team, Blue's team aside from Machamp, Silver's Crobat, and finally Red's Lapras, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. Lapras is as strong as always, and to be honest, it doesn't surprise me. It's just so good. Alright, so at this point, I think the only typing we seriously need now is a fire type. So I figure, I guess we can go with Magmar? I mean, we did use Rydon earlier, so why not use Magmar too? It of course can evolve too, but needs to be traded to do so. However, even without evolving into Magmortar, it still presents a fantastic stat line for in-game usage. 100 special attack, 93 speed, and a modest 85 base special defense. Magmar is just as useful on its own as it would be if it evolved. And considering the absolutely tiny pool of fire types that are possible to get your hands on in this game, it's worth using Magmar anyway. If you want to get your hands on a Magmar, you can get one in Ecruteak at the Burton Tower. But for now, let's take a look at what this duck-looking thing brings to the table. Magmar has got Flamethrower, Confuse Ray, Feint Attack, and Rock Climb for a moveset. It's going to learn Flamethrower at level 41, with plenty of fire moves to use beforehand. Then, we have Confuse Ray, which will help for just trying to get some hacks off in battle, and that is learned at level 25. Then, we have Feint Attack, which Magmar will probably have when you capture one. And I figured I'd just use it because there really aren't many other non-fire type options on the set. Finally, we've got Rock Climb, which some of you guys expressed was needed to get to Red in the last best team. So I figured I would just throw it on here as a final move, so you don't have to take any Pokemon off this team when you go to battle him. Alright now, with these moves, Magmar will be able to do well against Jasmine's entire team, Price's Piloswine, Lieutenant Surge's Magneton, Erika's entire team, Janine's duo of Ariados and Venomoth, Sabrina's entire team, Blue's Exeggutor, Silver's Sneasel, Magneton, Kadabra, and Haunter, Will's entire team, Koga's Ariados, Venomoth, and Fortress, Karen's Vileplume, and finally Red's Venusaur. I think the most important thing to take out of what Magmaer can do is the fact that it's able to defeat the Fortress that Koga has. I can't believe it took this long to get a Pokemon with a super effective move to beat it. Well, I think that's going to do it for this one. We've got the final alternate starter best team all wrapped up. I hope you guys enjoyed these last two returns to Heartgold and Soulsilver. They're honestly great games. But boy, am I glad I don't have to worry about building any best teams for them again. For now. It isn't the easiest thing to do. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this team down below in the comments. I'll be checking. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream all sorts of games from Pokemon to Fire Emblem to Zelda and much more. I also have an anime channel called MysticSage where I do anime reviews, rankings, and countdowns. So if you're interested in that kind of content, go ahead and check that out as well. If you want to support me even further and gain cool perks, check out my Patreon. These lovely people have all given me their support over there and I couldn't be more grateful to them. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.